It's not just a theory. MatPat is going to be in FNAF 2. Also, is Disney being desecrated by horror flicks? Welcome to Pop Talk, and let's get into it right now. Yeah, the secret's out. Matthew Patrick, a famous YouTuber on the channel Game Theory, is going to be in the Five Nights at Freddy's sequel. Now, he did appear in the first movie, and people were so excited to see him in it and hear his famous catchphrase and everything. It was great, but he was only a cameo. Now, for the second movie, he's actually going to be a major character, Toy Bonnie. It's very cool to see everything come full circle for him. I mean, he started out theorizing about Five Nights at Freddy's and all the lore and stuff like that, and now he actually gets to be a major character in the movie. That is so cool. Also, joining him in the cast is going to be Megan Fox as Toy Chica, and Kellen Goff, who's voiced other Freddys in the past games, is coming back as Toy Freddy. So I think that's really cool. I love it when they bring back original voice actors. I wish they did it with the Sonic movies with Roger Craig Smith. I would have loved to see him as Sonic, but that's besides the point. Bloomfest surprised all the fans at their Bloomfest New York Comic-Con session. They just came out and said it, gave all of the information for 3 of the major characters, and everybody lost their minds. I am very excited to hear Matthew Patrick on the big screen, and I cannot wait for the movie.
You do realize that lunch is the most important meal of the day.
Thought it was breakfast.
Some people say that, but it's just a theory.
Now, staying in the same vein as horror, let's talk about Screamboat Willie, because it's getting a sequel, because Minnie Mouse is now coming out of the copyright. I know that it's popular to make kids' characters into horror stuff. We saw it with the Winnie the Pooh when it came out of copyright. I think Bambi did it, and now we're having Mickey Mouse in his Steamboat Willie days, and then Minnie Mouse, probably in those days as well, being made into horror flicks. And to me, these horror flicks look and sound incredibly stupid. I'm looking at the stills right now, and Mickey Mouse looks so idiotic, like a really bad makeup job. And I saw the Winnie the Pooh stills too, also horribly awful. I don't understand why people want to make beloved kids' characters into something so horrific and for adults. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of weird. It's really weird, actually. But I get that it's popular because, a lot of people saw the Screamboat Willie movie, and apparently it was named the Best Public Domain Resurrection at the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, which I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I think the best resurrection would be to make something equally as great as the original, but this cannot compare. Oh my gosh, they look so dumb, and I just don't understand why they're getting a sequel. I don't understand why they're doing a sequel. All it says to me is that the director or the scriptwriter aren't creative. They don't have any imagination whatsoever. Because all they're doing is they're taking the hype over the fact that these characters are now not under copyright law and the fact that they're popular, and then making a movie to ride that hype train, to ride that train of popularity. And that just screams unimaginative. That just screams that you're not creative, that you have to take a popular character and all the hype that's around it just to make something that people will see. That's all you're saying to me. It's the same thing with the Disney live-action remakes. All they're doing is taking these beloved characters and all the hype around the fact that they're making a live-action just to get people in the seats, because the Lilo and Stitch movie was terrible because they changed almost everything about it. I don't understand why we're changing race and ethnicities and changing the belief systems and why these characters were so amazing in the original, why we're changing all that. I don't get it. Make up your own character. Sure, we want representation, but we want it in the form of new characters. We don't want recycled stuff that changes into garbage because you try to push an agenda. And that's the same thing with these horror movies, right? You're not creative because you cannot come up with a good enough character to get people in the seats. You can't come up with a good enough story to get people in the seats. That's all that these movies say to me about the director and the scriptwriter. You're not creative enough to make up your own character that's good enough to get people to watch your movie. Or you're scared. You're scared to put in time, money, and effort into something that could be great because you have to make it up yourself. You're scared that people won't come to see it because it's new. And that's a big grievance with movies today, is that nobody really wants to try anything new. So we're getting a whole bunch of just mediocrity and sometimes just horribly awful things just being pushed through the theaters. Sometimes we get good nuggets of amazingness, but mostly it's just mediocrity because people are scared and unimaginative.
Wrap that up and give it to a child on Christmas, because we're done.
Thank you for coming to my Pop Talk. If you want to hear me talk about any other news that's going on right now, if you want to hear me give my 2 cents on it, put it down in the comments below. I'd love to talk about it. And also, why don't you check out my most recent review? It's about the worst Alien movie that I've ever seen. Probably the worst Alien movie in existence. It was just so incredibly bad. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. And just remember, once you pass the popcorn to me, it's okay to talk, it's okay to text, and I'll see you later. Bye!